Hello there, this is Taran again here from Study Hub with another very helpful video about read alouds. So today we will talk about how to score good in read alouds. Now read aloud is the very first question in PTE, and it is a question that is going to contribute score to your reading and to your speaking. Roughly it contributes around 25 to 30 marks to your reading and around 20 to 25 marks to your speaking. So that makes it the most important reading question and also a very important speaking question. So you have to make sure that how to do it in the right way. It is a very simple question. Do not unnecessarily complicate it, and watch this full video to really understand what is the right way of doing read alouds in PTE. So first of all, let's talk about the scores. Read aloud, the scores that you get for reading and speaking are based on three components: content, pronunciation, and fluency. What is content? So you need to make sure that you cover the content in the right way. You're not replacing the words, you're not missing the words in between. If you miss 1, 2 or 3 words, your scores in reading will drop significantly. So each replacement, omission or insertion of a word counts as an error. So if you replace a word, rather than saying students, you're reading it as student, or you omit a word, right? You completely miss the word, you don't read it, or you insert an extra word in there, right? Sort of those words, that will count as one error. Then we come to pronunciation. In pronunciation, our target should be to get 5 or 4. And how do we get that? To make sure that we speak native like. Now this is not about accent, this is about the way of speaking. You should speak like a native. You don't have to copy somebody's accent. Please stick to your accent. Don't change it, right? The other thing will be your oral fluency. Now oral fluency is again about native like fluency. Again, you don't have to change the accent, you just have to make sure that you speak like a native. It is in read aloud, you have to keep in mind that it is not spoken the way it is written, very much like our language. For example, if I say something in my language, my mother tongue, right? If I say main ja raha hu, I'm going, right? That is in Hindi we say main ja raha hu. It is written as main ja raha hu, but we don't speak as main ja raha hu, we say main ja raha hu. Similarly, in English language, the word is written as not at all, but that's not how they read it. It is read as not at all, not at all. Similarly, we don't say I need to have a black coffee, we say I need to have a black coffee. So the words will assimilate and delete when there are similar sounds. So you have to be very careful that you speak like a native. The fluency has got mainly 4 things that you need to keep in mind. First of all, make sure that when you're speaking, you're very smooth and very natural. Too much rush, too much shouting, right? So that is not going to help you. You have to be very relaxed, very smooth, very natural. You cannot be smooth if you're not natural, and you cannot be natural if you're not smooth. Keep it that way, right? Second thing is you need to have rhythm. Most of us have rhythm, so you don't really have to worry about that aspect. But rhythm is all about starting at a higher pitch, ending at a lower pitch, stressing on few words in between. But please make sure that you don't over stress. I've seen a lot of students unnecessarily stressing on the words, over stressing it. So you have to be very careful not to have an unnecessary tone while you're speaking. It has to be very natural. Then phrasing, chunking the phrases together. You have to make sure that pauses are an important part of a natural speech. When you're doing your read aloud, you have to make sure that you've got natural pauses. Where can we pause? We can pause, or we will pause with the full stop. A comma, when a comma is separating the sentences. When it is separating the sentences, not every comma. Conjunctions, you can pause before the conjunctions. Or you can pause after a noun phrase before the verb phrase. Or you can pause before some prepositions like to, for, on. It will help you to have that natural speech. But right pauses are important. For example, if I say, I think it's going to rain today, so make sure you take your umbrella with you. Look at that pause. I think it's going to rain today, pause. So make sure you take your umbrella with you. Pause is before a conjunction. But if you do this, I think it's going to rain today, so make sure you take your umbrella with you. No matter how good your speed is, if your pauses are not natural, this is not native like speaking. So you have to understand, it's not perfect fluency, it is native like fluency. It's not perfect pronunciation, it is native like pronunciation. And then there should be optimum speed. So not too fast, not too slow, not too high, not too low. Keep it very natural. So few things you need to keep in mind from fluency perspective. Let's look at pronunciation. Now pronunciation, during that preparation time, when you get preparation time for a read aloud, prepare carefully, look at the difficult words, don't blindly skip them, try to follow the rules of pronunciation and try to pronounce that word. But in case it is very difficult, right, you can then decide not to do it, but that should be the worst case scenario. Very rarely you should do this. Sounds of A and O. So I've seen a lot of people when they speak, they don't open their mouth properly. I need to have some snakes today. You don't need to have some snakes, you need to have some snacks today. I'm going to go around the world. Not around the world, around the world. I live very far away. You don't live far away, you live far away. So make sure that you're opening the mouth with the sounds of A and O for the words to be clear, otherwise it will replace the actual word. Then assimilation and deletion of the words is important as well. Like I was talking about, I need to have a black coffee. That's not how natives speak. They say, I need to have a black coffee. Need to black coffee. So they will assimilate together. And all you need to do is read fluently, naturally, and this will automatically happen. Your pronunciation is directly proportional to your fluency. If your fluency is good, your pronunciation will be native-like, right? So please be careful about these things from a pronunciation point of view. Now let's do some read alouds and see how we will be working on it. Look at this read aloud. When I'm preparing it, while I'm preparing, I'll look for the difficult words. Also, I will look for my pauses here. In his landmark account, first published over 20 years ago, the author argues that the ignorance and lethargy are the direct results of the whole situation of economic, social, and political domination. By being kept in a situation in which critical awareness and response are practically impossible, the disadvantaged are kept submerged. Look at those, right? Those pauses there. So when I was doing it, these were my pauses. I paused after ago, of course there is a comma. Then I paused after domination. You can pause after lethargy as well if you want. Then I paused here, impossible, and then the next one. So this is how we should be doing our read alouds. Let's try one more. Thus, a country might possess a sizable rural population but have an economic system in which the interests of the voters were predominantly related to their incomes, not to their occupations or location, and in such a country, the political system would be unlikely to include an important agrarian party. So again, look at the pauses. This is wrong if you do this. Thus a country might possess a sizable rural population but have an economic system in which the interests of the voters were predominantly related to their incomes, not to their occupations or location, and in such a country, the political system would be unlikely to include an important agrarian party. This is not natural. So keep it natural, relaxed, simple, no unnecessary stress, right pauses, and you will do wonders in your read aloud. We have improved the student scores by just following these techniques, and I can share some scores with you as well. You will see how their scores have improved by just following the right technique and getting regular feedback. Feedback is very, very important for speaking. All right. All the best. I hope the video was helpful. If you need to take a trial class or you need to discuss your scores, feel free to give us a call on this number up here. Visit our website. We will be always and more than happy to help you. Please let us know if you need any help from our side, and if you really liked the way the information in this video, please like it, please share it, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel. This will really help other students as well, and this will also encourage us to do more videos that are more helpful to you. All the very best. Thank you very much. God bless you all.